What's up Saab fans around the world, and welcome back to another video. I thought it's time to do another update, so this will be a little bit of a vlog style or something like that. I will update you guys as soon as something happens with the project. And this is what I have gotten right now. So last week I bought an engine stand and also an engine hoist from the local Fast and the Furious store, Biltema. So this is actually really nice. It's really big, really sturdy when it's fell out, or which is should say. But anyways, and I bought an engine. So this is a B234, which is a 2.3 liter turbo engine from a Saab 9000. So from this engine right here we are going to use the block, because the block has more like holes and mounting points to make engine mounts that are already pre-drilled where nothing really sits. And we are going to use some stuff from this engine as well. The piston and rods in this machine is really good. So we are just going to machine the pistons, and they will be good for the T7 head gasket and everything. So as I mentioned before, we will reuse this block, and I don't really know how we are going to run this right here. The T7 and the T5 engines are basically the same. There are some small differences. For example, on the T5 you have the compressor for the AC up here, and I don't think we are going to run an AC on this build right here. We got the sunroof, and if you just skip the AC you can skip the condenser and everything. It just leaves more space for the tuning stuff like the intercooler and the fans and everything. But I think we will have quite a lot of space after we have turned the engine, but we will see. So in today's episode I think we will start by disassembling everything from the block and hopefully get the piston and rods out, so we can later on send the piston off for machining. And we are also going to take out the cams from this engine right here. We are not going to reuse this head, but we are going to use at least the intake cam. I think I will be running the T5 intake cam together with the T7 Aero exhaust cam. That setup has worked really nice for my tuner, so you get a really responsive engine, and that is something I will be running. Also, this fuel rail on the T5 is a little bit more simple, so I think I will use this, because this is flipped. On the T7 you have the pressure regulator on this side right here, and the lines for the fuel in on this side. So it's twisted, and that's more suitable when you twist the engine, because the engine will sit like this inside of the car. So then you will have the fuel coming in this way, and it will be much better. So anyways, this will be like a true time-lapse video, I guess. So we will see. I have used a lot of this product right here. This is like a universal spray to loosen up those rust and everything. So this is Starta Produkter in Sweden. So you can see all the bolts and nuts has been drenched in this for a couple of days. So I hope that I will manage to get things off quite easy. And I know that You can leave most of the gears around and then just lift the head with everything attached, but I might be reusing the exhaust manifold. I'm not really sure right now. Might do my own or might flip this to get a top mount turbo, but we will see. But to start off, we need to like disassemble everything. And as I said in the last video, this is luxury for me to have an engine stand and the engine besides the car for once. This is really amazing. So it will make the job so much easier, so much more efficient, and it will just be better in every way possible. Okay, so pretty good progress so far, and I know that lubing up and using the rust solvent on all the rusty nuts and bolts really helped out, because so far it has been an ease just taking apart everything, even the turbo that often sits like hell. And now we come to this part, the exhaust manifold. And if you want to guess, put a comment down below how many pin bolts will break when I try to lose this. These are pretty rusty and crusty, so we will see. It was pretty easy, but the hole, no, this is why it was easy. It's broken. First one broken. Second one, the nut came loose, which is ideal. That's how you want it. Just like that, number 2 off. This is just a pain in the ass when it sits in the car. Number 3 off. Number 4 off. This one was broken before we even started. And I have lost the count. But we managed to get one off that wasn't broken. So here we have it. It's a really small, nice little casting. But as I said, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 broken. 1 made it. So last time when I did the T5, T7 build, I did not like drill up these holes and put in some the threads that you put in, helicoils, and when I do the next renovation I will put in helicoils directly, because this is aluminum and it is so shitty to put a screw in and get a really tight pressure on the exhaust manifold. So definitely change these to helicoils. I don't know how long this engine has been running, but to me this looks pretty clean. Really nice. This is what you want to see when you open up the valve cover. So this camshaft right here is the one that we are going to use. This looks really solid. It looks really nice on the inside. So now we're gonna loosen the tensioner for the timing chain, and then we will, I think we will let the cams sit until it's ready to use them, so we don't mess up anything. Just gonna loosen the chain and then unbolt the head studs, and then we can lift the head off. So the piston and rods are out from the block, and the cylinders looks really nice. Here we have the piston and rods, just needs a little bit of cleaning, and then they are going to get weight balanced and the pistons are going to get machined. So we can run the T7 head together with the T7 head gasket, which is more suitable when you are trying to put out some power. So what we are going to do right now is disassemble the chain, and we are going to remove the balance chain, because this is just another thing that could fail. I did this on my last engine, but then I did the change inside of the engine, or inside of the engine bay, I would say. And then it gets much harder. It's super hard to remove the balance shafts completely, but that's something that we are going to do now. And of course, since we have everything off, we are going to install new chains, new guides and everything, so everything is new when we assemble everything back. But right now we are just going to disassemble everything so we can get the block cleaned off and get some nice paint on it. And we are going to use like a razor blade to refinish this surface right here for the new head and the new gasket. So we start by removing the tensioner for the balance chain. Right here behind this is an oil pressure channel that keeps the tension on the tensioner. So this needs to be, either you thread it up and put a bolt in it or a screw, or you can do like a blanking plate to just seal this off so you don't get anything out there, because this is going to be removed. What we are going to keep is this plastic guide right here, but we are going to cut this off and just keep the lower part, because this needs to sit pushed in when the cover is on, so that this guide ain't going nowhere, because it could slide out otherwise. I think we might need to take off the idler pulley first. So now we got the balance chain off. And you also get better oil pressure, a little bit higher oil pressure when you remove the axles and blank off the oil channels for the balancing shafts. And you also get a little bit more freely revving engine, so you get very much benefits. The backside of the story is that you could get like vibrations into the car at some RPMs. On my other car I didn't feel anything of that, so I think this is a no-brainer, at least when it comes to like tuning side of things. If you are going to daily the car, of course it's another story maybe, but on my yellow car I didn't notice anything of the vibrations. It wasn't an issue for me, and I daily the car back and forth to work like for a lot of days. So this is pretty heavy, and this weight is nice to remove. So you can see here where you have like the oil supply for the axle and the bearing. So if any of you has like the Balanceshaft delete kit, like this piping that you need to put in, please comment down below, or if you know anyone, preferably in Sweden. It's so easy to change the chain and all the guides and everything if you just have it on an engine stand. I don't know why I haven't done this earlier, but I guess I have been like scared or something for pulling out the engine from the car, because I have had the garage for quite a while, so I really don't know. This is so like hassle free. Just takes a little bit more space, but yeah, it is what it is. So we created a little bit of mess, parts like everywhere. So I need to go for a junkyard drive to throw this away, and some of it is going to be kept and cleaned off. And now we can really clean off the engine block, because this will be the base for the new engine. Need to remove some of this dirt right here and then paint it. I think I will paint it silver actually, or maybe black, I don't know. If you paint it silver, you will see really easily if you have like any oil leak and where it comes from. But it will look dirty after a little while, but it will look fresh when it's mounted in the car, when it's new at least. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel and support the channel. It means a lot to me. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. If you have any question regarding this build or any other Saab related question, please comment down below. And the next step for this project, I think we will clean up a little bit. Of course, paint the block. Then there will be some small stuff beside. And then I think it's time to start working on the actual car. And I have some things that I need to sort out. Like there is some rust in the rear end of the chassis that needs to be taken care of. We have some holes in the chassis that needs to be welded, because we need a fresh car when we should mount everything in. And we will see, but on this build I am going to try to think first and build later, so we only have to build once and not redo everything. Of course, some things on this build has to be redone. And I have bought or ordered the book, the building book, SFRO. in Sweden, because there are a lot of rules against, not against, but there are a lot of rules regarding how you should build and how it's like legal to build a car, so it gets approved for road use. But anyways, that's it for this video, guys. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye!